Good morning. Those 10 seconds to 8 seconds were for casting away those who don't even have patience for these 10 seconds. So this video are not for you now. I am on the rooftop of my living place, and during the whole conversation, you might experience some noises of the airplanes or some noises of the other inhabitants here. Please forgive this. And well, let's begin the story. Okay, this is something that happened only yesterday. So yesterday I was feeling very upset. I cried in the shower. The shower water was warm, but my tears were hot. I went in front of the mirror, naked, and looked at myself, and then I saw both of my eyeballs were filled with blood. So basically, I was in a very serious moment. A lady was walking her dog on the rooftop. Okay, sorry. So, I was very upset and very sad. Emotionally, I watched 3 Kung Fu movies yesterday, and I just cried. I was 24 years old, and I'm not working for anybody. I don't have a job. I don't have insurance, I don't have that kind of thing that you can call a decent citizen. I'm just like trying on this channel, this kind of thing. So I don't know how long I can, sustain myself with this channel, but alright, so this is the reason that I am very upset. And then I dried my body. I went out in the living room. It was already 11 o'clock. I don't really feel like sleeping at all because my heart was weighing down so bad, and even if I went to bed, I couldn't fall asleep. So I went into the balcony. The air was very fresh and chilling. That day we had a clear sky, so I can see the moon. It was almost full. It was something like a 3/4. Yeah, it was a beautiful moon. So I decided to go downstairs, buy some cold drinks, and take a walk, maybe looking for some inspirations. It was like my mind and my heart told me to go downstairs. So I did what I was told. I live in a neighborhood kind of far away from the center of the city, and it has a lot of natural environment. It has a lot of fields where people, mainly old people, having some plants on the fields. They did it on their own and they sell it. We had this kind of environment, and it was relatively safe to walk around during midnight, and we had a kind of dynamic nightlife. People, vendors, small vendors selling food, street food. Okay, so this is the background. I went upstairs. I don't have any intentions to eat anything, but I want to buy some drink. So I was heading to a store that sold drinks, snacks, that kind of sales store. You can buy something at a lower price. So I went in there. I bought a lemon tea. This is the tea that I bought yesterday. This is not commercial. And then I went out. Okay, so this is the part. We are approaching the part. So when I went out, I went across a main street. It was 11 o'clock, and then there were still many vehicles passing through. So I gotta waited for a while, and then I got, go over that street. And then in front of me was a metro station. No, like a subway station, with that logo thing, and you gotta went underground. Okay, that kind of substation. And on the road to that subway station, there was a lady sitting on the floor. She was a small vendor of veggies. So apparently she planted those veggies herself, and she was selling these veggies at a very low price. She was not even doing this for she was not doing this for her living. She was doing this because there were too many veggies and she had to sell some of them, otherwise they just all went bad. So she was sitting in a very meaningful position. I want to show you. And this was the veggies that are in front of her. She was just sitting like this. And she was a very short and slim and kind of bent, and that kind of lady. And she was just sitting next to the running street. The cars were just like passing through her, and her toes were probably already touching the edge of the street. And she was wearing a pair of flip-flops. Yeah, something just like this. This is my shoes, okay. So she was wearing this, but like only one of them. So it was like this, huh? It was like this. So one of her feet was naked. Okay. And nobody paid attention to her because this is not the first wanderer we saw in our life, right? So naturally, people just walk away and mind their business. So I was supposed to do this. I was drinking my lemon tea. But then when I passed her, I stopped and I took a few more stares at her because I was kind of, her look kind of pinched me. So I had to stop and look at her. I just feel like making sure that she was okay. She was not really homeless. I was kind of worried that she had no place to sleep, so I stopped and look at her, because normally these old ladies, these old grams that sell veggies, they live with their family, But I was kind of worried, but still I didn't have a conversation. I just went straight away. This behavior of going straight away has almost become a natural, knee-jerk reflection. So I just went away. I went past the subway station. I went very close to a McDonald's down my building. And then I stopped again. I had a few sips of this lemon tea. That lady on the street was still, kind of dragging me, pulling me back. And I used to donate some of my money to these people on the street, but I had never had a conversation with them. So I decided to turn around and go back to that place, and just show my care. I don't know how to explain this, but I just want to talk to her, and I want to make sure that she had a place to live. So I went back to that place. She was sitting there, and then I stand up. I stand up like this, and I walk to her. No, I was still standing, but she was sitting. So I was like, hey, good evening. Are you okay? Are you okay with your stuff? She was kind of surprised because I talked to her. And she was like, yes, I'm okay. I'm selling. I'm selling. She has some kind of accent, so I cannot really catch her, And then I was released. So I know, but I was not assured, so I gotta continue the conversation. So I asked her, do you have a place to live in the evening? I'm just, hinting at her. I just want to make sure she was not homeless. And she said, yes, I live that way. And then she asked me where I live. So I said, I live that way, and I pointed at her. And then, okay, so the problem is solved. And then I continued this conversation and asked, are you living alone? Are you living with your children? Where are your children? And then she said, her children, she has a daughter and a son, and they were already working, and they probably have their own families, and sometimes they might return to to her place for the veggies, because the veggies are cheap and good, so they come home and for veggies and for their mom. Okay, so that's it. She's got children, she's safe, she got a place to live. Okay, now I was still standing, but then I just bent down so that I can see into her eyes instead of seeing her head. So we have a eye-to-eye conversation. Let me just read my memory a little bit. Okay. She was still kind of surprised by my behavior, because obviously nobody talked to her in this way. And during our conversation, those other people, just like walking, minding their own business, and this is not a common thing to do. And she asked me, asked about my job. She thought I just finished my job. She thought I was going out of the subway station because I was coming in that direction. So she asked, what did I do for a living? It was kind of hard to describe this to an old lady, to maybe like a 70 or 80 years old Chinese old lady. That kind of hard. So I said I had my own business, and I didn't come out of subway station. I do something with my brain, kind of explaining in a way that she could understand. And then she said, oh, good. Is this better than working in an office? Wow. As I I ended up being the one that might get hurt right now. But then I said, yes, it is somewhat better. And then she didn't chase this, And like a miracle, the stone in my heart disappeared during this conversation. And I don't have a watch, but it was pretty late in the night. And that lady asked me if I was willing to buy some of her veggies. I refused her because I don't need those veggies, and because my grandpa he also grew veggies himself, so we don't need that. So, but she's okay with this, and I give her some advice on the location of selling these veggies because I thought selling them on the edge of a street is too dangerous. I suggested that she sell them, on some neighborhood or something like that. And then she asked me to go back home quickly because it was late and it could be dangerous. And I asked her to go back as well. And she showed me her vehicle. It was a bicycle. It was it was kind of like an old bicycle because, yeah, you could just tell from its look. When I look at that bicycle, my heart kind of weighed down again because it kind of looked shaky. I don't know. Okay. Now, I said goodbye to that old lady. And then I just went home. I was eating an ice cream, but my stomach was bloated. I went home. My tears were dried, and my heart, I don't know how to explain this. I didn't even help that lady. I just had a conversation with her. I didn't donate anything, and I didn't buy anything from her. I just had a conversation with her. But at the end of the conversation, she said, "Thank you, young lady, thank you." And I also, I don't know. But it felt so good. It just felt so good. Actually, that conversation helped me too. And when I returned home, immediately I felt like recording. But my grandpa was sleeping and it was too late. And so I went to sleep. So there were already a few nights I woke up during 4 o'clock many times. But that day I didn't wake up at 4 o'clock. I wake up at 8 a.m., which is right now, and record this video. So I don't know how many of you are still watching this video, but this is it. Thank you so much. Thank you. There seemed to be no plane passing by, so no noise at all. Alright. I'm about to go downstairs and brush my teeth. Thank you. Goodbye.